In this video, I'm going to take you through some of the research websites that we're going to be using for your college scavenger hunt project. So this document is going to be shared with you on Google Classroom so that you have a quick access to all of the research websites that I'm sharing with you. And the first one that I'm going to go over brings you to WITS and to the Guidance Center page. So as soon as you click that link, it brings you to the North High School Guidance page. There's a whole bunch of useful information about college open houses, virtual college fairs, college essays, college planning. There's a whole bunch of really great resources here. But I really want to point you in the direction of a tab called Naviance. And this is a college search website that's going to help you find your super match, which means you're going to put in all of your preferences and the things that you want out of the college that you're going to go to, and it will match you with all of the colleges across the country that hit the criteria that you select. So you might find colleges that you don't even know exist using Naviance. It's a really great tool that I wish I had when I was looking for colleges. When I was looking for colleges, I really only had, the colleges that I knew that were close to home, or the colleges that I had heard about through word of mouth or through friends that I had to consider. So a tool like Naviance can help you find schools that you wouldn't have otherwise known about. So from this guidance page, we're going to click the Naviance tab. And actually, when you guys go to click on Naviance, you don't need a login because it's automatically going to log you in using your WITS/Google account as soon as you hit the login button. But since I'm not a student, I'm going to have to log in. So this is a step that's going to be skipped for you guys. And since I'm already logged in, it just took me right there like it will for you. So this is the Naviance homepage, and if you've never used it before, I'm glad that we get a chance to do it now together. This is something that you would have done last year with your counselor at your spring meeting, but since those were canceled because we weren't in school, I want to make sure that you know about Naviance this year. So once you get to this page, if you've never used it before, you'll look a little bit blank. If you have used it before, colleges that you're thinking about, that you're applying to, will all be organized here for quick access. But if it's your first time, you can either search a college here. If you have one in mind for your scavenger hunt that you want to use, you could search it here and it'll bring up a bunch of information about that school. But if you have no idea what colleges you're even considering, if you come up to the top here and hit the colleges tab, and then we're going to go down to find your fit, and then hit super match. And this is what I was talking about in the beginning, the search engine that's going to help you find all of the colleges that hit your criteria that you're looking for. So across the top bar here, these are all different things that you can click through and specify what you want in the college that you go to. So let's say, for example, we start with location. You can put in your zip code if you want to stay close to home, and it'll bring up colleges that are within however many miles you set. So let's say I want to go to colleges close to home in Williamsville, where our zip code is 14221, and I want to stay within 50 miles. Again, I'll enter that zip code 14221. You can even go down and you can choose your campus surroundings, whether you want a big city, a little city, something that's rural, something that's in a suburb. So I'm going to say, let's do large city. And then when you click out, it's going to save that information under location. So if you click back, it's already saved in there. So academics, you can specify what kind of degree that you want, that you're searching. So I'm going to click a bachelor's degree. And then after you specify what type of degree, you can go down and you can search majors and minors. So let's say I want to go for business. It'll bring up all of the different types of business degrees you can get. So I'm just going to I'll click business administration management. And if you're interested in minors, you could also search minors, and it'll only bring up schools that offer both of the things that you were looking for. So admissions you'll use to enter your current GPA, your test scores, so that you're only going to find schools that accept students that are within your range. You can also specify acceptance rate. If you want a school with really high acceptance rates, You can put that here, or schools that are a little bit harder to get into, you can specify those. I'll just scroll down so that you can see. You can also click in my little place where I'm talking to you is covering up these criteria here that you can specify if it accepts the Common App, if it accepts AP credits, if there's no application fee, things like that. You can also search things according to student life. Like if you know that you want a school that offers Greek life, sororities, and fraternities, you can specify that. You can search for certain clubs and organizations that are a must for you. If you're interested in ROTC, internships, studying abroad, you could specify all of that information here. The next tab is for diversity. Oh, it's highlighted. So you can, if you're looking for schools that have a high percentage of minorities, you can specify this. Over here, there's a bunch of other things that you may want to include in your college experience, like a historically Black institution, a Hispanic serving institution, LGBTQ inclusive colleges. You can search for schools with religious affiliations, a high population of international students. You can even put in percent of male versus female if you would like to. So that's diversity. Institutional characteristics. This has to do with like the population and size of the school. Down here under student success, these are things you might not think about, but schools that have a high graduation rate and a high retention rate, which means students that stay and actually finish their degree there. Those are important things. You don't think about it going into school, but you want to find a school that students tend to stick with. If schools have a really low retention rate and a low graduation rate, you have to stop and consider why aren't students staying and finishing out their degrees here. You can also specify average class size at your school and on-campus housing that has to do with dorming. So that's under institution characteristics. Cost. If you want to stick within a certain like budget for your school, you can specify that here. Athletics. If you're interested in sports, you can add sports that you are hoping to play, and you can even specify which division you're looking for to play those sports in, all the way from club all the way up to D1. So resources are really helpful if you know that you have a specific challenge or something that you're going to need to be accommodated by the college that you go to. And I understand that I'm covering this up a little bit, but I will read some of them to you. Support for learning differences, support for other remedial services, ESL or ELL services, physical accessibility. You can specify all of these things under here, and it'll bring up schools that have those different accommodations for you. So when you're done and you have put in all of your different criteria, all you have to do is scroll down, and results are going to start to pop up as soon as you put in that information at the top. So based on what I specified, it brought up a couple colleges. Villa Maria College, which is one in Buffalo, large city school. I didn't put in a lot of specific requirements here, but it tells you this is 100% fit. With everything that I put in, this school fits that match. And it also gave me Dieuville as a school that 100% fits that match. And as you scroll down, it'll show other schools that might not fit your match 100%. And if you want to know why, like I have Buff State here, 80% match if I hit Y, it'll pull up a screen that tells you what doesn't quite fit your criteria. Okay. So I'll keep scrolling down, and you can see that there's a whole bunch of colleges that pop up. Like I've never heard of Yeshiva University, and I wouldn't have found it if I hadn't used Naviance. So it'll bring up a ton of schools. These ones are starting to get further away, and that's probably why my match rate went down, because they're not as close to home as I specified in my search. But especially if you're looking at out-of-state schools in a state that you've never been to, this is a really great tool for you. So that's Naviance in a nutshell. I'm going to click back to our links so I can show you the other two research websites. The other two come from a website platform called Big Futures. Click on the first one. And this one is a really great resource if, again, you already have a school in mind and you just need to find more specific information for your scavenger hunt. So my example one that I did for you guys, I'm going to show you in the next video, is Canisius College. And I did Canisius because I actually went there, so I know a good amount about it already. It also is one that's close to home, so I imagine those of you that don't want to go too far away, this is one that you might be considering. So you type in the college name, and it pops up with a ton of information. Everything that you're looking for on the scavenger hunt should be able to be found through this website. There's some sidebars over here that'll help you find some more of the information, like the deadlines for acceptances and sending in those applications. The majors are listed over here, what it's like living on the campus, what it's like applying, how much it costs. All of that information can be found on this website. There's also a link that'll take you right to that school's website where if you're having a hard time finding information here, again, you only need 10 out of the 15 things mentioned in the scavenger hunt. But if you do want to find them all because you're genuinely interested in the school, you can click over to their website and find some information there. So this is that first site, a good one if you already have a college in mind that you just want more information on. Now the second one is also offered through Big Future. And this one kind of functions like Naviance in the sense that you don't really have a college in mind yet, but you have an idea of what you're looking for. You can filter the search based on what you're looking for. This one isn't going to give you a percent match like Naviance will, but you can still use this to kind of broaden your search. So I'm going to use, let's see, I already used location as like my main criteria, so I'm going to use type of school for this one. So this time I'm going to search for like a 2-year, maybe community college. Click public, medium, co-ed. And then on the side here, you can specify how much you care about each of the criteria that you selected. And as soon as you close, it's going to start giving you suggestions. So you can go through all of the tabs if you'd like to, and it's just going to give you a more focused search. So a whole bunch of community colleges have started to pop up since I didn't do a location. These are community colleges all around the country. We've got some in North Carolina, Georgia here, California. And then from here, once you find a school, like let's say I'm going to look at SUNY Adirondacks. When you click on it, it brings you to the same type of information that we saw on the first website, where you can look through the different categories and find your scavenger hunt information. So as we're working through this, I'll be there to offer support if you're looking for something and you can't quite find it. I just wanted to have this video up if you're working from home and you don't have me at like an immediate access to run you through these different search engines and answer your questions.